Hello Flowerport, I'm going to show you today how I plant tomato seeds and get them going. So I've just got an old Ferrero Rocher lid here, it doesn't need to be anything fancy. I've just got a bucket of soil here. I'm going to pop some soil in the bottom. You see bits in it, this is soil from last year. This is actually coconut soil. You buy it in a really compressed bag, and when you add water to it, it expands. So it's like 3 or 4 times, I think, what's actually the size of the bag. It's pretty good stuff. I say this is from last year. So we've got little bits of debris in it, but that's fine. A lot of that's breaking down, which will help feed the plants. So don't want to pack it in, I just want to make it quite loose. And the seeds I've got are seeds that I harvested from last year's tomato plants. And I'll do another video on how I did that. Right, so a nice loose bed of soil to put these little tomato seeds in. Okay, let's see which ones have we got here. Okay, so I'm just going to pop them in a little bowl. Tomato seeds are tiny. They're not as small as carrot seeds, but they are quite small. So I'm just going to empty them into a little dish so I don't lose them. More in there. Oh yeah, there's more in there. I think that's it. Okay, and I've got a little pair of tweezers. I'm just going to take them out and pop them on the top here. Just space them out a little, because when they start growing you need to transfer them into a bigger pot. If they're too close together they start growing together. I'm putting them a couple of inches apart, just so when I do move them I've got a decent amount of soil to take with them. So I'm just popping them on top of the soil. They're all a little bit stuck together where I harvested them. I think these are from beef tomatoes, so they're going to be quite chunky tomatoes. I haven't got as many as I would have liked. That's okay. So how many have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, I'll move that one over because we've got space actually in here. Spread them out a bit more. Didn't do very well on our veg patch last year. My head wasn't in the game. There we go. And then I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of loose soil over the top, and then I'm going to water it. Now these can be planted outside later. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to put them in the airing cupboard in a plastic bag, because that helps them to get going. A little bit more soil on top. Okay. Make sure they're all covered. And now I'm going to give them a little bit of the water. I've got a mini watering can here. It belongs to your sister. Just give them some water. To get them going, they don't need the light, they just need to be moist and warm, which is why I'm putting them in the airing cupboard in a plastic bag. They did really well last year, starting off in the airing cupboard, so that's why I'm doing it again this year. A little bit more water. There we go, nice and wet. I'm going to pop them into a sandwich bag. Okay. I'm just going to write on the front of this bag that they're beef tomatoes. that inside the sandwich bag. It's like a mini greenhouse, especially when it's inside the airing cupboard, which is lovely and warm. You normally seal it most of the way, but leave a little bit open. I've got one here that I prepared earlier. This has got little tumbling tomatoes in it. So here we are in the airing cupboard. I've got some in here that I put in earlier. These are in little pots, in little eggshells actually. So I've put soil in the eggshells and put the eggshells back in the egg box. Now these guys I'm probably going to leave on the floor because they're quite flat. So I'm going to slide them into the airing cupboard, just there on the floor, and I'll check them in a couple of days, see how they're doing. Oh, there's a pipe in the way there, let's move that one over. Oh, this one might have to go on the top, okay. Okay, I've checked the pipes and the pipes aren't hot, so I've just sat it on top of the pipes in there, and like I say, I'll come back in a couple of days and I'll see how they're doing.